today we are headed towards a new facility that I will be orienting at to add to my little list to go pick up shifts at with my PRN agency. So I will be taking you guys along with me as I orient on that hospital. And I learn where everything is and everything like that, what they have, what they don't have, and etc. So let's see how this goes. I have no clue. I've never been to this hospital before. Not really heard many things about it. So I'm really curious to see like how it's all going to play out. So definitely wanted to vlog so you guys can see it with me. So let's get it. All right, everyone, I'm here. I'm about to walk in. I'm not sure if I parked in the correct spot. She kind of gave me some areas to park in, but it's dark as heck. And I'm like, I don't know if this is where I'm supposed to park or not, but whatever. I'm going to try to go through this little side entrance here. I see that people have been going through it, and it's near the ER, which is by the administrator's office that she was referring to. So I'm going to try to see if I can get in. If not, then I'm going to go through the main entrance and try to cut through. But this hospital is like way bigger than I expected. It's like pretty large, so most likely I'll get lost because that's just me, but we'll see. So that's the door, and I saw people going through it, but you have to be able to badge in to get through. I just saw this girl go in there, but that was like before I got out the car. So there's no one close by, so I'm gonna walk to the main entrance. All right, guys, so the nurse I'm with has already gotten a report. Over at this facility, med surg is 6-1. Apparently, like this whole kind of like I'm gonna refer to it as their tower is like all med surg. So they have like 5 different med surg floors. She told me like post pandemic, like with this pandemic, there's not really any distinguishing factors between the floors. Like some places have like a stroke floor, like a cardiac floor, and they're still med surg, but they're like separated, like a ortho and all that stuff. So at this facility, they don't really do that. They do have 2 units that are pretty much the ortho units, but the one that I'm on today, they're kind of like a hodgepodge. They have all their COVID patients like mixed in with the rest of the patient population. I think they tried to keep one nurse with all the COVID and such, but I mean, you can only do what you have the resources to do with. So there's that. Even with COVID, these nurses over here are 6-1 with the COVID patients. So right now, our patients, like I said, we're 6-1. They have TPN, they have PICC lines, they have JP drains, they have PCA pumps. Like that's what I'm used to seeing like with a med surg floor. So it's like a true med surg floor. I worked on getting access to the PICCs. I'm working on getting access to the computers because for some reason, all of the hospitals that's in this network, I do have access to, except for this one. So they said that typically it'll take 24 to 48 hours. Low-key, I would like to go home after this orientation, but if not, then I mean, what can I do? I can't be like, well, I'm leaving. If they need me or if they want me to stay, I have to stay for the full 12 hours. But technically speaking, this unit is staffed like already. And I know there's other people orienting today, because when I went to the AD office, I saw this girl and she told me it was her first time. So I'm like, it's plenty of people here unless they want to decrease the nurse to patient ratio. But I'm like, if they're used to taking 6-to-1, then let them take the 6-to-1 and let me go home. So I don't know what they're going to do, like, once my 4 hours is up. But I'm saying all that to say, I don't have access to the computer, so I can't do anything right now. I can't even, like, scan meds, you know? I can pull them, but I can't scan them. And I'm not doing that. No. Not over here. So, I was saying that the guy I was talking to on the phone about, like, the access and stuff, he said normally it will take 24 to 48 hours. So I was going to try to use that to my advantage to be like, oh, hey, like, I'm not going to have access, so, like, you know, send me home. And when I come back the next time, I can work like normal. And basically, I had to give the information to the manager, and their manager has experience with my agency. So he's like, oh, I can expedite the process. And he said the last time someone was here, they got access by 2. I'm like, what's the point of that still? So I'll have orientation for 4 hours, and then what? Couple more hours, and I won't have access. I'm like, I still won't have access. Like, by 2 o'clock, that's almost the end of the shift. At that point, you just really have, like, 6 o'clock meds, or, you know, 5 o'clock meds. And most of the time you just do those together. So I'm just like, I don't know. I hope they just go ahead and send me home, because I don't see the point in me waiting. But the way the charge is acting, like, she's going to want to keep me. But ultimately, it's not her decision. It's like the supervisor's decision, because they're paying money for us to be here, you know? And I think whatever unit they're on, the money comes from that unit. Like, they're paying us buku money to be here. So I'm like, if I'm not working, just send me home. Like, that's an extra expense for what? But we'll see what happens. I'm just, like, really hoping I go home. But we'll see. I'm going to start going to these facilities to orient, just to, like, switch things up a bit, and then see different locations. This location also has, I was trying to think of questions to ask the nurse. So they do have, like, a secretary. Not all of these facilities have secretaries. They also have phlebotomy. Same thing. Not all these facilities have phlebotomy. So I'm trying to see what all they have to determine, like, whether or not, like, am I going to be here, or, like, am I going to go elsewhere? So they have secretary, they have phlebotomy, and they have transport. So this is the only facility so far that I've been at that has all 3. So that's definitely a plus. A minus is this nurse to patient ratio. I don't think I had 6 patients at the other facility, but then again, most of the time when I'm there, I'm in the ER, or I'm in the IMU. So I think I've only worked med-surg like a handful of times, and I can't even remember how many patients I've had. I thought it was 5, but I could be wrong. 6 is a bit much, but they do have 2 techs on this unit. This particular unit has 24 beds. The nurses are 6-to-1, like I said. There's a charge nurse. Charge nurse doesn't have any patients, and then they have 2 techs. So each tech have 12 patients. So that's this unit, though. I'm not sure about the other one. So one of our patients, hemoglobin was low today, so we'll get to go to the blood bank, and she's going to show me where everything is while we're already down there. I kind of inadvertently found some stuff when I was looking for the AD office, what they call it here. That's what I was showing y'all at the beginning of the video. I literally walked right past it. It was by registration. So I was like, oh, that's hilarious, because I was all up by the ER. They told me it was by the ER, so that's why I went. But they should have said it's by registration. But I'm going to try to finish eating this. Go find the girl who's orienting me. Because I kind of was trying to handle that technical stuff first. Because I didn't want them to, like, try to do something. I'm like, I don't have access yet. I'm not taking patients. Like, what do you think this is? I ain't taking patients until I have access. And I'm like, I really hope that it takes a long time. So, I'm not trying to stay here all day. I'm not. I will, because I'm going to pay good money, but that wasn't my intent. Like in working today, I was like intending to work, orient, and go home. So, like I said, I'm going to finish eating this, and then I'll check back in with y'all when we go to blood bank, probably. Alright guys, so it's later in the day. I haven't even tried to see if I have access yet because I really want them to send me home, but I know that he said the last time they tried, it was like around 2. Like I told y'all before, I just don't really see the point of them keeping me here and spending money to keep me here. But the hours are over for like the orientation, technically speaking. So I'm like trying to call the AD. They call that the administrative director here to see if they want to keep me or what they want to do. And then they told me like, hey, actually you have to talk to the manager on the floor about that because they're the ones that's like, it's coming out of their budget. So the manager is not on the unit right now. I don't know where he is. So I'm going to ask the charge nurse, where is he? So I can know what they want to do. But yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of like, send me home. Y'all, I'm gonna have to give y'all like another update like to how we got to this point, but basically they never sent me home. I got access around 1 o'clock. The manager was like, he wanted me to stay, basically task nurse. There was really no need for me to still be here. They're fully staffed according to how they normally do their floor. So I'm like, why are y'all paying me? Like, some people would want to sit on their butt and get paid extra, but I'm not one of them people. Like, I don't like these are not my patients. So I don't like following behind someone or like helping someone do something and I'm going at their pace. Because it's like, okay, basically I'm somewhat task nurse now, but not really. But I'm still with my girl that was orienting me this morning and helping her out. So I'm like, okay, like, I don't know what she wants to do. These are her patients. I'm not trying to interfere with like certain things because I'm like, certain nurses do certain things certain ways. So I've been passing meds and doing all this stuff for her, cleaning a patient up for her, you know, like covering her when she went on break. And then now the charge nurse asked me like, can I take over her patients? And I was like, take over like how? And she was like, take over, like, do their stuff. Or I don't even know what she's trying to tell me. I was like, you want me to pass all of their meds and then to do the blood that she still hasn't done yet? Because, like I'm saying, like, I could have personally have already done all this stuff. They're, like, really slow here. The tech hasn't gotten the blood sugars yet. It's 5-something. Like, she did the vitals but didn't do the blood sugars with the vitals. Some people do that. I don't know. But that's fine. But it's just like, okay, like I knew that it was going to come to a point where at the end of the shift, they're all like rushing to get everything done. And it's like, this could have already been done had you managed some time better. So now I'm kind of like, don't dump the mess on me when like I would have been done this already. So I passed like the meds I could like earlier, like literally at 4 o'clock. The 5 o'clock meds I passed at 4. Y'all know like I like to get stuff done early. I couldn't pass anybody else's 5 o'clock meds because they're all blood sugars. So I'm waiting for the blood sugars to be done because I'm not going back in there to do double work. You know what I'm saying? So now she comes to me and is like, oh, can you take over for Lauren's patients? And I'm like, and do what? Someone came in the break room. But anyway, I'm like, I'm not about to be pressured to try to finish everything on time because she's been behind all day. Like, I've not really been able to help her up until like 1 o'clock because I didn't have access to anything. But now, like, she's like been playing catch up like all day today, and it's just like I'm not about to try to clean up her mess, like, because I know like once I get the patients, it's like, okay, like, I'm not giving the night shift nurse report because I'm like, I know these patients, but I didn't take report because I was orienting. And it was more so like, let me see how this unit works. Let me know how the hospital is. What are the protocols, things like that. I didn't really pay attention to all the stuff with the patients because I didn't know if they were going to send me somewhere else after my orientation was done or what they were going to do, because I've experienced that before. So I'm like, I did not familiarize myself with all their details and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not giving a report to night shift nurse because these were not my patients. I was just here orienting and helping. So I'm like, take over? What do you mean take over? She's like, yeah, can you take over so that she can do the discharges? I'm like I said, I ain't rushing to do nobody meds that they waited last minute to do. She's been sitting down doing I don't know what for like a while now. I guess she's charting. I don't know, but she charted earlier today too. So I don't know how much she actually completed and what she didn't complete. But I'm like, for a while, she wasn't even passing meds. I passed like all the afternoon meds pretty much. So I'm like, what were you doing with your time? Like, this person that was supposed to get blood was supposed to get blood earlier today. But the reason why she didn't get a chance to get it is because one of the ports on her PICC line is not working. So she has one functional port. So she had to get cath flow and all that stuff. And this guy had electrolytes that had to be replaced all day. So like in total, the potassium took 4 hours to transfuse and the magnesium like 2 or something like that. And then we have blood. Well, now he has this ampicillin that's supposed to be going, and it was scheduled for 3, and like between 3 and 5, like you haven't given it. And then now she's just now about to give it. And I'm just like, I'm not like, y'all let me know down in the comments. Am I bugging or what? But it's just like, I don't want to clean up your mess. Like, and then what? There's 1 hour left in this shift. Like, we could split these meds, but like, what do you mean take over? I'll give you guys an update when we leave. Now it seems like I'm really, really not going home early, because at first I was like, I wanted to go home, but then they were like, help. I was like, okay, maybe at 6, you know? But that's long gone now. All right, guys, I feel like I done broke out. Y'all know I've not been wanting to be here like all doggone day, like at all. I'm like I told y'all before, why are y'all willing to pay me this much to not even have no patience? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But the bag is bigger because I stayed, so we'll be happy about that. I did find out that technically this parking space that I parked in, that's not for employees, but I mean, hey, I'll only be here once every couple of weeks or whatever, so I'm going to park here, because they were telling me something about how they take a shuttle. They park somewhere else to take a shuttle, and I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm perfectly fine with I'll just park here. So what ended up happening with what I was ranting to you guys about is that We ended up kind of splitting the meds. I guess she never even helped that girl with the discharges. I'm not sure, but I didn't have to worry about it. So I'm glad about that, because y'all know I did not want to be a participant in taking over all her patients. I was like, what do you mean take over? So grateful for that. So this is the end of the vlog, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Today was definitely something else. For the rest of my extra shifts for this month, I am at the location I'm used to. So I'll come back to this one maybe next month. We'll see. But definitely a couple of perks here. Like I mentioned earlier, is the phlebotomy, secretary, and transport. Cons is the nurse ratio patient is 1-6. So that, and then I'll have to learn another facility. I don't know if at this particular one, if I would get floated more to med-surg or ER or IMU. So we'll have to see how that goes. It's a lot, like med-surg patients, but I noticed that a lot of them don't really have that many meds. Like one of them had like one med for the whole day, like 9 o'clock, and then like one at 1. That, I mean, like that's perfectly doable, but that's definitely a con, having to worry about another person. So we'll see how it goes, guys. Go ahead and like my video if you like my content. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video.